We are live, coming at ya.
Well, okay, we're gonna have to put the we're gonna have to set some ground rules about what we're allowed to say when the stream starts, and that's definitely on the naughty list. How are you doing today, Andy?
Good. I mean, we've done all the technicals, and it's going to be flawless. I know. So I'm feeling great.
I'll say, we always make this look easy and effortless, but
we did.
I did twice get coffee to drink while we were on the stream, and it's gone.
Yeah,
so it's just how these things go.
Since you mostly sat there and I did all the work, my coffee's still full.
Excellent. Yeah, that's the real advantage. I think often I have coffee to drink when I'm setting things up on my end, but this time I was just really directing you.
You know,
the middle manager role.
You know what I'm realizing is that the clouds have come out and we're not as bright down here as we should be. But I think
the colors are still popping. So let's talk a little bit about what we're doing here.
So you tell the people.
We're gonna be doing a little bit of an experiment here because we're gonna be creating Andy, you're going to be creating a Dungeons & Dragons character. I'm going to help direct you. And you're going to be using these Draw 20 cards, which are designed to work like dice. Yep, there's a box. You can get them at draw20.net. All of you who've been watching our streams for a while know I've talked about these a couple times, but they're pretty cool. And they allow you to basically, they're numbered 1 through 20, and you can shuffle them up and draw them like it's a D20. Yeah, why don't you show people a little bit what the other side looks like? So they range from 1 to 20, and the look of them changes from one to the other. And there's two different sets. There's the Elven Grove and the Wizard's Tower. So Andy's showing off the Elven Grove here. So things obviously get pretty crappy in that grove as you get down to 1. And then similarly with the Wizard's Tower, it's pretty awesome when you're up there at the top. And then it's still pretty cool through all of the middle phases here. But then as you go down, you do get a cat. I think that's the highlight there. You got the cat up in the upper left-hand corner.
Oh, yeah. I hadn't noticed. Oh, the cat's gone.
And he's gone. So you lose the cat. That's when it really goes
That's
wrong.
not looking good.
No, it really goes.
I got these out of order.
Oh, yeah. Okay. Yeah. See, the tower's already burned away at that stage.
But here you have a sweet skull.
You do have a sweet skull. Well, it's been there a long time. I mean, if you look at the 20, the skull is there as well.
Oh yeah,
it's just
it's more. It's even more sweet. And the cat, something's up with him.
Yeah, the cat's eyes start glowing. There's some good stuff in there. Anyway, so we're gonna use these today to create a character. Now, normally you don't play a lot of Dungeons and Dragons or any, for that matter. So
I've created plenty of characters.
Well, okay,
in the video games.
In the video game sphere. Well,
I've played one time Dungeons and Dragons.
How long ago was that?
10 years, probably.
Okay. So it may not even be the current version that we're talking about.
No.
I'm not sure when 5e came out, 5th edition.
I'm not sure. Another guy set it up. I was like, hell yeah, let's do it. And then friends getting together is tough. So
I understand. It's a challenge. So we'll let people live vicariously a little bit through what we're doing here. So what I'd like to do is... So normally when you create a character, to build your stats, you roll 4d6, so just 6-sided die, and you drop the lowest one and add these others together. So you're really adding up 3 dice. So it can range anywhere really from 3 to 18. But realistically, anything less than an 8, at least at our table, you drop and you reroll. So I actually do have a character with a 6 in strength right now, but that's pretty unusual.
What's the class of this character?
We're going to come back to that later.
Of your 6 strength character.
Oh, he's an artificer, so he
doesn't really need to be strong.
An inventor, yeah.
He doesn't need to be strong. I probably have about a 6 in strength.
I find that a really low strength, the comedic possibilities are very high.
Right.
With that sort of thing,
You failed to pick up the book.
He's very gung ho to help out with his strength, but his impact on situations is not. He's the one in his mind who does all the work, but so we have to simulate that.
I thought D&D were supposed to come up with a character that wasn't you. That sounds a lot like you.
That's it, Andy. I'm going to. I don't know what I'm going to do. Artificer's not very good for threatening people. Just so we could set it up so it's got the cards from 8 to 18. But if we did that, then you wouldn't. It wouldn't be quite accurate because it's it's an actual distribution of values.
Right.
It's not just a straight roll from 1 to 20. So I'm going to have you put together a mix of these two decks.
Okay.
That makes sense. So take one of the decks and pull out 8 through 18.
All right.
And we can hold them face up for this, just so the peoples can see. And you can discard the 19 and the 20. We won't be using those. Just set them to the side. Don't throw them away. That would be weird.
Throw them in the trash. I've ripped them up.
And then from the next deck, take 10 through 16.
That's what we'll be using?
Mm-hmm. And we're going to go even a little more complicated than this. There you go. Just set those aside. So, and now to really nerd this up, I would like you to take from one of the decks the 2 through 4.
Okay. So we got 2 through 4.
And so when the 2 through 4 come up, we'll consider those a 12, 13, and 14.
Okay.
And then from the other deck, just grab the 3. And same thing, you consider that a 13. Because 13 is the most common number you get in a 4d6 drop, the lowest number. So I'm trying to create a distribution of values here that will give you a decent character.
Got it.
So shuffle those together. Let's see your shuffling skills, Andy.
They're not.
I favor the just sort of hold them loosely and push them together method. I know you've done plenty of gaming, but you can also shuffle.
My problem with shuffling is for some reason, they always come out facing wrong directions. I shuffle them poorly.
Well, that's okay. So they're just facing like top to bottom from each other?
Who knows? No one knows what's going on here, Alex.
Give it a few shuffles so you get a really good...
There's not a lot of cards here, I will say.
No.
Makes the shuffling a little difficult.
For something like this, I like to just sort of push them together because I find it easier for... I'm also shuffling the same set of cards at home.
Oh, wow. We can remember this, folks. T20.net or Roll20.net. I'll get it right.
Draw20.
Draw20.net. And you can play along at home, too.
You can play along.
Try all of those addresses. You'll get there.
Well, yeah, we cannot guarantee the safety of your computer at all of these addresses.
No, that's true.
That's it on the asterisk. So,
all right.
What I like to do, especially with a shuffle like this, you can always flip over the top card, but I like cutting the deck and taking what card is under there. So this is going to be your strength score.
Okay.
So let's flip this over and see what you get.
Artificer or Barbarian? Oh, that's pretty good.
So what is that?
16.
Is it a 16? All right. So on your strength score, put in 16, but put it not in there, but in the circle below it. So what'll go in, just to make sure you're familiar, what'll go in there is once we've firmed up your stats, because there's the ways to change them as you build the character, your modifier will go into up there. So your modifier is currently a 13. Or I'm sorry, a 3, 13. So
because it's a plus, right? Plus 3.
Plus 3.
I was gonna. Yeah.
For the record, I drew a 3, so that would have been a 13 for me.
Checks out.
So yeah, now here's the thing you're gonna love. You're gonna have to shuffle these every time you do this.
Yep, I do love that.
Give them a shuffle. We get to show off your shuffling skills. So that's your strength score.
I think Kickstarter backers should get like an automatic shuffling machine as a.
That's a good idea. We can bring that.
I'm
the
full of them.
Draw20 branded shuffling machine. But yeah, so the nice thing about these cards is you can't, like, obviously for something like this, you can sort of build your own distribution of cards in a way that you can't do that with a die. Let's see what your dexterity is, my friend.
All right. Oh, I'm just going to draw it off the top.
You can do it however you want.
Because that's how much space I have on the screen. We've got an 11.
11. So go ahead and put that in there. So that is technically you have a +0 to dexterity at the moment. Let's go ahead and figure out what your constitution is.
Should I shuffle them all again?
Shuffle them all again.
Because I guess you need that 11 in there.
You do need. I mean, obviously, if you don't replace it, then you're changing.
You have a
stats.
smaller pool.
Exactly. So the odds of getting an 11, I think actually we only have one 11 in the. Or we have two. No, we have two 11s in the deck, I think. Is that a 16 again?
It is.
Wow, you're really killing it here.
All right. We will go here.
Yeah. All right. So that's so you're looking like you got a Marshall build going here. But let's see how this goes. Maybe you're going to be super smart.
A super smart barbarian.
You know, it's happened before. It's like, the later Beast in the X-Men.
Is there so in D&D when you're rolling and creating a
Uh-huh.
character, is there any like man, you got all high numbers for everything? Is there like a max or do you just happen to have a beefy character?
Yeah, it's a little bit of that. I mean, you see it. I'll tell you, you get those beefy characters more often when you play with children because they are cheating liars.
Oh yeah, absolutely. I have two of the cheating
Um,
liars of my own.
I got all 18s. It's
Mm-hmm.
amazing.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, you do see that. But you actually, you usually get a pretty good distribution of things.
Yeah, yeah,
You
yeah.
don't
I
usually
just didn't
get.
know if there was like, oh, you can't have another 18.
No, there's no rules like that.
I
I
mean,
mean, I don't like it when I have a character that has all high stats because I
yeah, it's
feel
not
like
as fun.
it's not as fun. Yeah, you want to screw things up. That's what makes the game fun.
Yeah, yeah. All right, here we go.
Um,
This is
all
for
right,
intelligence. Uh-oh.
11. Is that 11?
That's 11.
All right. I think we got a pretty good distribution going here. Pretty good
Mm-hmm.
distribution. I mean, those 16s are pretty sweet, but
Yeah. I haven't got anything really low yet. What's the lowest I can draw?
the
Remind
lowest
me.
you can get is an 8.
8, 8. Okay.
So if you see
8
an
to
8,
18. So 11 is on the low end.
11's on the
16
low
on
end.
the high
13,
end.
13 is the average. So
Okay,
you're
got
you're
it.
you're actually pretty close to the average
All
right
right,
now.
we're going wisdom. Nice.
14.
I'll take it. Above
14
average
might be the
wisdom.
average. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
That's what they say about me.
He's an average wisdom guy.
Above Alex? Above average?
Above average. So this gives you some stuff to work with here.
Now my charisma is usually off the charts.
Yeah.
Uh-huh. So that's a 12?
12. Okay, so you got a pretty good distribution of character of stuff here. So your highest things are definitely constitution and strength, though, right? So I think we're
Mhm.
looking at so that right off the bat, my first thought is you might want to go with a fighter.
Yeah. I mean that's
Um,
pretty boring.
the thing is, I enjoy a fighter because it's got the boringest name. Like you're a fighter,
Yeah.
but the top things are strength and constitution. You could also go with a barbarian. Their top things are also strength and constitution. Um, but fighters, where barbarians are fairly one note. I mean, it's a nice note. You rage and you attack things.
Yep. Yep.
But fighters can be more subtle. So you get things, especially in the higher levels, you get these skills that you can apply. So I'm going to use my, riposte skill, or I'm going to use this skill that lets me do these various things, and you've got a die you can expend
Well,
to
I do
add
love
to your rules and things
I
like that.
do love a riposte. I'm a
You do
Dark
love a
Souls
riposte.
player, so give me that
There you
riposte.
go. That's
Also,
true.
I feel like when I'm playing a new game, fighter is definitely the class you want to start with to just learn the basics, learn the basic mechanics. They're pretty simple. So and I'm not very smart, so let's go. Should I be putting my modifiers in here?
Not yet, because we're going to get into. There's a couple ways you can do the race in your character.
I'm a
But let's go
gibbon.
to you are a gibbon. Yeah, you can show people that if you'd like. I'm not sure if that's an option.
Oh.
But
It's
I've, I
it's very
we
washed out, but
my son created a character that was a gibbon, and we forgot to take it out of the character sheet, and we're having some trouble doing so. So there's a picture of a gibbon here on our character sheet. So go ahead. You can go ahead and put in fighter on the
class and level.
there, and we're gonna go level 1 here, baby.
Oop.
Keep it simple. Nope, the gibbon came back.
Oh, I hit spacebar and it
Yeah,
no,
don't do that.
no
apparently.
spaces, I guess.
So we do want to think about. So now now you've got this fighter.
Yeah.
You can think about what who he or she or they are. Do you have any thoughts about?
I have to be creative now. Crap.
Yeah, you have to be creative. I know. I'll put you on the spot.
Let's see. No, I have not thought about this at all. I think he is. He's from Sweden. Are we playing in the United? He's from Sweden. He was a door-to-door salesman, and he fell through a portal to the Forgotten Realms.
Okay.
Wherever
Right,
is that Forgotten Realms a thing? Is that where we are?
So you got yourself a human fighter, is what you're saying?
Oh,
here.
definitely a human.
Okay. All right. So we can. So there's a couple ways you can do your stats because he is you basically you have the option of you can increase one of your stats by two, or you can increase one stat by one, and that's sort of like the new way they do it, as opposed to having they're trying to get away from the race conception in
Sure. They've gone woke,
in they have, it's also
which is fine, which
weird.
is good. But hold on. You said I can either put. I think this is what you said, and it doesn't sound right to me. I can either raise one stat by two or one stat by one.
Or two stats by one.
Yeah, you didn't. Okay, that makes more sense.
Sorry. Well, I got that. So here's the thing. In the standard human thing, the thing that came in the rule book that came out 10 years ago or whatever, humans get to increase their every stat by one, and that's all they get.
I see.
Now, they also could increase their two ability scores by one and gain a feat, which is pretty awesome. I don't know if we want to get into feats.
Oh, maybe I don't know either.
It might be good for you, but
usually, again, coming from video games, if I were to get a raw stat point or some stupid skill I could use, I would always go for the skill.
No, everyone I know goes for the skill. So
Yeah.
here's what I'm going to say. We're going to use the variant human from the player's handbook.
Okay.
So this allows you to do three things. One, you get to increase two of your ability scores by one. So let's focus on that first.
Ability scores being my stats here?
Yes.
Okay.
So the breaks, and this is an important thing about, the breaks are on the even numbers.
I see.
So do you have any odd numbered stats?
Yeah, dex. And dex seems like something a fighter would
Yes,
want.
100%. Raise your dex to 12.
Okay.
And then anything else?
How about 121 instead?
121 is pretty high for a level 1 character.
Yeah.
You have a plus 40.
I also, the only other odd number I have is an int, which seems not that useful, but
It isn't. I mean, you can always look to the future, but I mean, there's going to be intelligence. Like you can sort of see on the right, there's a little column of skills.
Yep.
And so anytime you see the int in parentheses, it uses that as the base modifier. So there's a lot of things that do use intelligence. So you might want to.
I mean, if the breakpoint's on even numbers, I might as well just do it.
I feel like that makes a big difference to things, and you will have opportunities, like if you continue using this character where you can level up, and there'll be more opportunities to put one. So if you want to get a really high strength, for example, but +3 is a pretty good place to start with that. I think for a level 1 character,
having more options is always fun.
Yeah. So you go ahead and do that. So you go ahead and give yourself a 12 there in the
done.
And so the next thing you can do is you can give yourself one proficiency in one skill.
Okay, so skills is the all these things. Okay, so what do we got? We got acrobatics, probably not. Animal handling.
Acrobatics comes up more often than you'd think.
Yeah, I guess so.
I want to dodge that guy's thing and sweep,
Right. It's just, I would think you'd want to go, there is no strength thing here.
No, strength is a stat. So the strength.
Oh, there is athletics.
Is athletics.
Now,
and you'll probably I would do something other than something that's in your base things, because you'll have the ability when we get to your fighter stuff.
Got it.
They'll give you the ability to modify 3 or 4 of these.
Okay,
so,
then that being said, acrobatics I'm leaning towards. Let me read the rest of these: deception, history, insight, intimidation, investigation, medicine, nature, perception, performance. Persuasion always seems fun. Religion, sleight of hand. So persuasion or acrobatics.
I think persuasion's a good option because it's not your standard fighter thing. You could also put it in intimidation, depending on how this character you want this character to play out.
Sure. Yeah, I guess if we were leaning because he started as a door-to-door salesman, I think he would have persuasion.
Persuasion. Oh, good call. Good call. So just tap that over there. So one thing I want to make sure we do is up at the top of the page above that, there's something called proficiency bonus.
Yep.
Go ahead and put 2 in for that.
Now what's
that?
So
that means that once we've settled this, because there's one other possible way you can increase a stat here, and because I want to do that before we finalize these. But whatever your stat is in something, it'll be +2 if you have that little checkbox next to it tabbed, because you're proficient in it.
So
proficient? 2.
So persuasion, for example.
Yes, it would. So right now it's charisma, and your charisma is 0. What's your charisma number? Your score?
12.
12. Okay, so your charisma is +1. So you would right now have a +3 to persuasion
Got it. Because
because
it's a
it's your
charisma skill.
yeah,
Okay.
exactly. So let's go ahead and talk about your background. So you actually have talked about this a little bit, salesman. So I'm going to
Hmm.
go ahead and look in the backgrounds, the 5e
Is
backgrounds.
there is that gonna exist?
You know what? There's so many damn backgrounds, but let's see
Okay.
what we've got. Let's see what we've got. There might be like something like that we can work off of from
Okay.
that. Like for example, there might be. I've got to do my old man look at the bottom of
Hmm.
my glasses
Hmm.
to see it.
Give
Like
yourself a squint.
there, there might
My
be like a.
eyes still doing going strong. I haven't had
You
an
know
eye
what?
exam in 20 years, but when I did, they
I
said
got together
looking
with
good.
college friends this last week, and I've got to tell you the number of bifocals that were handed around so people could
Uh-huh.
read the menu.
Yeah. Also, it's funny. I do have a thing where if it's at low light and there's small text, I'm like, Ben, can you tell me what this
Uh
says?
huh. Uh
So
huh.
something's going on. Last time I went to the eye doctor, he said you have 20/20 plus vision. And I'm like, oh, do I need glasses? And he laughed. So
You clearly know nothing about eye care. You know.
yeah, he's like, it's a slight deviation.
So the looking through the stats here real quick, I think that I'm going to go ahead and just take a look at one here because there's one called Guild Merchant, and I'm thinking that might give us something. You know, it's as close as you can.
Sure.
We can ignore some of the aspects, but what does it give you? So it automatically gives you persuasion and insight. So I think
Oh,
those are actually too good. So go ahead and mark insight. So let's put you in just write. Why don't you just write merchant because we're going to take the guild part. So under background at the top, you can just type merchant.
okay. And then I get insight as well.
You get insight as well, and actually go ahead and take something else because
Yeah, yeah,
this wasn't
yeah,
intended. It doesn't intended to wipe out that.
yeah. I mean, intimidation could work. Do persuasion and intimidation they're sort of the same. You'd use
It's
them at the
really just
same
the flip.
point, right? It's
It's
just
the, yeah, exactly.
yeah.
There's a lot of checks that are into like use a charisma check.
Sleight of hand seems a bit interesting if I'm trying to
It
trick
is.
somebody.
It is. So sleight of hand's really like, and it's super useful. Like if you're trying to take something, or really if you're trying to do something dexterous that is ever so slightly sneaky.
Right. It could play hand in hand with persuasion. Like I move something or change something while I'm trying to persuade.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Um, although I think I'm gonna go acrobatics because it's just a different area, and I
I
want to
think
be a little well rounded. So
I like your attitude. You want to be a little well rounded.
unlike real life.
Yeah. No. In real life, you're a one trick pony.
Yeah, yeah. You need something done on a computer?
You're good. Yeah.
I maybe
And even then, I mean, barely. Let's
barely
face it. I
barely.
mean,
I can get by.
so that you get insight and persuasion. You get one language of your choice, and this doesn't matter too much, but at this stage, but you get
Swedish for
so
sure. Swedish. That's gonna help.
you
All right. What are
so
my language choices?
let's go ahead and go to. I'll show you. Languages typically go on the lower left-hand corner of this character sheet. This page you've got right there, the
Over
big
here.
box there. It says proficiencies and or
Hmm.
whatever. So go ahead and put languages. So you speak common because everybody speaks common. It's very convenient.
Like the actor / rapper.
Yeah, exactly. That's exactly what I mean. Let's go ahead and take a look. So
Hang on.
let's
I
stick with
want
our.
to give me one brief moment to fix
Yeah, you sure?
the stream. I want this to come down a little bit. I want that to go up.
Fix it. Gotta fix the stream. Gotta fix the stream.
And I want this to... All right, sorry.
So, all right. So where are you? So you got common in there.
I do have common.
All right. So now you need another language, and so I think let's just stick with our standard languages and not even go into the exotic ones.
Sure.
But you got dwarvish, elvish, giant, gnomish, goblin, halfling, and orc. Now I'm feeling like you're Swedish. Elvish feels the most
Really?
Swedish. What do you think? A gnomish?
Yeah, kind of. They
All right, go with gnomish.
they sound funny, but then the question is, so I was
We just lost our Swedish fans.
they know. They know. So I just was a regular human in Earth grinding door to door, and I
but
fell
who's to
through a
say-
portal. How the hell did I learn Gnomish? That seems
You
like
know what? like how did you learn? I think you just fell through a magical portal. I feel like we've got a lot of latitude here.
So the
Maybe
magic, it was
maybe
a
you
gnome portal, and as a
maybe
side
you
effect.
landed in a community with one of these people, and they sort of got you on your feet.
But then I would have been here for years, or like
Sure,
a good amount of time.
you have to change your
This is a
career
fish
from
out of water story, Alex. All right, fine, gnomish.
salesman to fighter. I mean, you're barely good at that.
Gnome-ish. How do you spell gnomish?
Gnomish. Mish.
That's what I.
Mish.
That's what I have.
Okay, perfect. So you speak that. So the next thing, goes in that same box over there, is you're proficient with one type of artisan's tools. Now I know your next question is going to be, tell me what kind of artisan's tools they are.
Yes, that really will be. I mean, okay, so what would I have been doing? What else would I have been doing? What am I selling that might have been?
This is exactly.
Give me some examples of what you got if you got them.
You got your wood carving tools.
Mm-hmm.
You got your brewer's supplies. You got your cobbler's tools. You got cook's utensils.
Brewer. I was a door-to-door kombucha salesman.
You got your brewer supplies. So put brewer supplies in there. You also have a set of brewer supplies with you, which is crazy. They seem heavy.
Does that go here too,
pounds.
or do I just?
No. There in the direct center of the page, there is a section down the middle next to the gold. There's the numerical gold things, and then right next to that, there's your inventory.
Numerical gold thing. Equipment?
So you got little boxes.
It's probably called equipment?
Equipment, that's right.
And those are brewer's supply kit or something?
Just brewer supplies.
That's okay. Wait, so I already put them in the other spot. Is that bad?
The other spot is you're proficient in brewer supplies.
I see, but I also hold them.
Have them. Yes, exactly.
Not confusing.
So someone could take away your brewer supplies, and then you would not be able to brew any longer. It'd be very sad.
It would.
It also tells us that you have a set of traveler's clothes. I generally don't bother with this because I'm assuming you're dressed.
Right. That's a bad assumption to make. Only top up, Alex.
That's all that matters to me.
Yeah.
You can be sullying your chair all you want.
Come to my hot tub stream after this.
So you also have a pouch containing 15 gold. So in that same section where you put in the brewer supplies, in your there's a little GP section box.
Got it. And how much?
Type in 15 there.
Okay.
And you've completed your background.
Nice.
And you haven't completed your race, but what we have completed is your stats. So we can put in those values for your stats. There's actually one other way. I was just realizing we can change it, but what the hell? You can retype.
Sorry, I'm
so
messing
you
with
can
the
put in.
again.
So what are your levels? So you've got your dexterity is what? What's your skill? Your score?
Let's sizzle. My dexterity is a 12.
So that you get a +1 to dexterity.
Mm-hmm.
And also, that is your initiative, which is the very middle box at the top of the screen there, or top of the page. Yeah, so you have a +1 to
That
initiative.
seems low.
It's your dex.
Yeah.
So if it is, it's your own damn fault for not being limber.
I mean, it's a random... Anyway, continue.
Yeah. So the next one down is your constitution.
Yep.
So that's a 3, I believe, as well as a 16.
16.
Yep, okay. And then that is, what's the score on that one? Your wisdom?
12, so it's a +1 again.
Yes.
And then 14 for wisdom.
That is +2.
And 12 for charisma is going to be a +1.
Mm-hmm. So that's you got a pretty well-rounded character. Now, so what we want to do now is, you do have a feat that we have to come back to, but I'm sort of thinking let's do the feat last.
Okay.
So let's go ahead and talk about fighters, Andy. It's do you talk to your kids about fighters? I think you should.
Okay, this will be you teach me what I need to tell them.
So here's the first thing you need to do with your fighter is give yourself some hit points.
Mm-hmm.
Your hit points is 10 at your first level because you roll a d10 for your hit points.
Okay.
But you don't need to roll your first one. You just get all of them. So it's 10 plus your Constitution modifier. So you have 13 hit points.
Nice.
Which is a lot of hit points.
Oh, I put it in hit dice. Where do my hit points go?
Hit points go right up at the top. And so it's a little confusing the way they've got this laid out. I think they've got your hit point maximum, and that is where you want to write it in.
Hit point. Oh, right here.
Yeah,
It's a teeny tiny guy.
it's a teeny tiny guy right there.
Oh, and then
Now
your
your hit,
current. Okay, so
yeah,
my current should be the same.
yes, but you can just yeah.
Nope.
So you can for your hit dice, it's one. You have one hit die,
Mm-hmm.
and it is a D10.
So do I just write D10?
Yeah, D10, and then the line above it you write 1 because you get
One
one hit
D10.
die at every level.
Got it.
And what you use that for is if you ever need to take a short rest, quote unquote, which is like just hanging out for an hour.
Yep.
You can roll one of those to get hit points back, but
Okay.
then you don't get it back until you take a long rest.
Okay.
So excellent. So that's the first thing you do when you're creating a fighter is you get yourself some hit points. The next thing you do is we talk about your equipment to some extent. So I'm thinking you can write these things down under your proficiencies below where you have your brewer supplies.
Mm-hmm.
You get all armor and shields.
What does that mean? Oh, these are proficiencies. Sorry.
These are your proficiencies. You can use all of these things.
Armor, shields. Got to spell.
You get simple and martial weapons.
Oh my god, my keyboard's like not where I'm used to it. Simple.
I understand. And martial.
Martial weapons.
The distinction seems vague sometimes when you actually look at them. And you get your saving throws, and we're going to move up to the top. Right above your skills, there's your saving throws. And your saving throws are in strength and constitution.
Okay. And do I put
You mark the little bubble next to them.
Oh, I put dexterity. That's not correct.
No, you don't get that. You don't get that. And now what you do is the same way you with the skills, you add that in there. Go ahead and next to strength and make that a 5. So when you roll a strength saving throw, you'll add 5 to it because you are proficient in strength.
Right. Makes sense.
And the same thing with constitution, and you can fill in the other ones here too. So constitution is also a 5.
Yep. Dex.
And I can't really read the other ones fully because my eyes are so old.
Okay. Do you need me to tell you what dex I have?
No, you just write that dex modifier in there, so you don't add any proficiency.
But shouldn't these be 3 then?
No, because it's 3 plus your proficiency, because you're proficient in them.
Understood. So these are just my modifier. So 1, 3.
The other ones are just
1,
your modifier. Exactly.
1. Why? Oh, I've messed up already. 2. I think we're okay. I think we made it through.
Even if you've done it wrong, we're still okay. So let's talk a little bit. Let's talk.
Let's wrap.
Let's wrap. Let's talk a little bit about your skills, because you get to choose 2 additional skills to add to what you've already had. Acrobatics is among them. But the other ones you get to choose from are animal handling, athletics, history, insight, intimidation, perception, and survival.
Okay. Well, certainly I would think athletics. Well,
I think athletics is...
You said not to pick a strength one? Or are these because...
No, that was earlier.
Okay.
So now this is stuff that's specific, because I knew you would get that for your because you're a fighter.
Right.
Strength
and I can pick 2?
So you can. I think athletics is a good pick, and then between the others, I think history does not make any sense for your
survival. Sounded interesting.
Which one?
Survival. I don't know if that was
survival's like your ability to track or find food.
Okay.
In the wilderness,
Read them to me again.
Sure. So it's animal handling, history.
Mm-hmm.
You have insight, right? Yeah. So it's animal handling, history, intimidation, perception, and survival.
Okay. Out of those, perception and survival and intimidation, but I don't think I want to take it. Tell me about perception.
Perception is something you do all the time.
Also, it seems like if to be a good salesman, you need some perception. Not that I'm saying I was a good salesman. I could actually have been a terrible one, but...
Yeah, it's true. We don't know anything about your sales history.
I was drinking too much I was high on my own supply. Perception.
He'll have a kombucha with you anytime.
Yeah. All right. I'm going. I think let's do it. Perception.
Yeah, I think perception's a good call. Now, and this is actually pretty good because we can fill in another field. It's all about filling in fields.
Yeah? I love filling in fields.
Filling in fields.
This is a fill in field stream.
It is. This is really a field day. All right.
Nope.
So, what is your perception? Is wisdom, correct?
Yes.
So, what is your wisdom? Is 2?
Oh, perception is wisdom. My wisdom, my modifier plus 2. Yes.
So yes. So that gets to be a +4 now.
Here?
Yeah.
So tiny.
It's a +4 because you're proficient in it now. So did you put proficiency? Put your little fill in the little things next to each of them. The ones you got.
Nope. Didn't do that. Hold on.
No worries.
Am I proficient in? No, I'm not proficient in charisma.
No, you're not.
So shouldn't this be a 2 then?
Well, you can be proficient in the saving throw, like you were above, or you can be proficient in a given skill.
Mm-hmm.
So you don't have to be the best at that skill to have some. Basically, means you've practiced it and you're relatively good at it. So you're
So
like, for example,
so you if I'm proficient in a skill, I get my modifier plus my proficiency bonus.
plus the proficiency bonus. Yes.
Okay, I understand. I should be able to do this math. So
I know it's complicated.
wisdom would be a 4.
Yep.
Wisdom again would be a 4. Strength would be a 5.
Mm-hmm.
And acrobatics, dex would be a 3.
3.
And when we've done it.
So the other thing you can do is you've got right below your stats. There's a thing that says passive perception.
Right below, yeah. Oh, that's passive wisdom perception.
Yeah, exactly. They like to put wisdom in there as if you need to be reminded again that it's a wisdom stat, but it's just your passive perception.
Okay.
And it is. So you have a +4 to that.
Yes.
So your passive perception is a 14, which is pretty good. And what that means is in a situation where there's someone sneaking up on you or something like that, and no one knows about it, this is presumed to be your score that you're competing them with. So
now because
if they roll a 13, you see them.
Now because it's passive, the DM would handle it. I wouldn't roll for it.
Yes, it's something that the DM would need to know.
Okay.
Yes. And it does get complicated because like we'll have you make a perception check and you'll get an 8, and then there'll be an argument about well, but my passive perception. But so there are some, as with any good role playing things, you have to have something to argue about.
Yeah.
So those are your stats. We've completed your stats there. So technically, you could fill in everything else with the just base stat, but we don't need to necessarily do that unless you really want to fill in those fields.
I'm curious about armor class. So that comes from strength?
Well, that comes from your base armor class is 10.
Okay.
Plus your dex.
Plus my dex modifier?
Plus your dex modifier because
it's 11.
How well you're able to dodge and things like that.
Makes sense.
So 11 right there. But then it really comes down to what does your armor do to that. So let's talk armor a little bit.
Let's talk armor.
So we can go through and we can do some purchasing, but you get to have some basic things to start with.
Mm-hmm.
You can have chainmail armor or leather armor.
Okay.
As your base. And let's talk about armor so I can tell you what that all means.
Mm-hmm.
You basically get to add to your score here. So chainmail, you have to have a strength of 16 to wear it, but it changes. It just gives you a straight armor class of 16.
Okay, that seems very good.
It does.
Tell me of leather.
Leather armor, you get it's 11 plus your dex modifier, so it would only be 12 for you.
Okay.
Here's the other side of the coin, though.
Okay, tell me the other side.
You get disadvantage on any stealth checks if you're wearing chainmail.
Because I'm rattling around.
Exactly. Which basically disadvantage means you roll twice or you draw 2 cards.
Take the lowest.
And take the lowest. Yes.
So I see that, and I see that how that could be helpful. Although being a fighter, I'm not a thief. I'm not an assassin.
Yeah.
You know, I feel like I'm there to take some hits. So I think I'm going chain.
And you're a solo party here, so I think give yourself some chainmail. You can just put it in your stats.
I'm a solo.
Or in your equipment. Sorry, put it in your equipment.
I have friends, man. Is that? So that brings me to a 16.
Yes. So your armor class is a straight 16, which is nice. That makes it a heck of a lot easier than a lot of other ways to do this stuff.
Yeah.
So we should talk about your weaponry a little bit. Let's talk about what you've
I'd
got.
love to.
So you have you can have a martial weapon and a shield, or 2 martial weapons, which actually gets us to one of the first things we need to describe to describe your character is your fighting style.
Mm-hmm.
one of which can be dual wielding.
Okay.
I believe 2-weapon fighting.
I don't see him as a dual wielder, to be honest with you.
Okay, what kind of fighter do you think he is?
I think he's a sword and board. I think he's your standard fighter. Now, when you say martial weapon, tell me, because I can handle simple or martial. Tell me the difference.
Okay, let's go ahead and take a look at some weapons here, which naturally I did not have open. Let's talk about our weapons. Let's talk about them. Let's see, where are they?
Here we go. I picture him with an axe.
An axe?
A hand axe. And like a round shield. He's part Viking.
All right. I think you don't want to go hand axe. Here's because hand axe does 1d6 slashing.
Okay,
but you can throw it.
Well, okay. Is there any axe? Is there any other one-handed axe that is available to me?
Let's take a look here. Maybe not actually, because I'm looking at the great axes and the battle axe. Those are battle axe. The battle axe, yeah, no, there you go. Battle axe is versatile. It's a great option. You should go with your battle axe.
Can I use that in one hand, or am I going two hands?
You can. It does 1d8 slashing in one hand, or if you use it with two hands, it does 1d10.
And can I, like in mid battle, say I'm going to sling my shield onto my back?
Absolutely.
Let's do it. Battle axe, it is. I've got a battle axe now.
So you can also in the center there. Of the page
here,
that big box. There's where you can put your weapons up at the top, I believe.
Oh, right here.
Yeah, so you can put a battle axe there. You can have it in your equipment too, but
doesn't matter. And then my attack, but you said 1d8, or what's attack bonus?
Your attack bonus is what you add to your roll. So in this, it is because it's a strength-based weapon. It's your strength plus your proficiency bonus because you're proficient.
So 5.
So it's a +5. Yep.
And the damage type is slashing.
It is, but you also want to write 1d8.
Where?
Right in that where you wrote slashing. So I think slashing actually is less interesting than the 1d8 +3, because your strength modifier allows you to really slash the crap out of people.
Okay. Done.
Now, it also can do 1d10 as well, but we won't worry about that as much. So
would the 1d10 also be a +3?
It would be 1d3. Yeah. So if you're two-handed, it's 1d10. You just have to remember that.
I'll just do that.
There you go. Now, I think you should give yourself a shield as well.
Excellent.
And you'll like this. Mm-hmm. So put a shield down below.
I've put a shield. Now, do I get to pick a specifics?
No, not really.
Okay.
Shields are like largely flavor in here. But it gives you a +2 to your AC. So your AC is now 18.
Damn,
you just
bro.
Remember when you take
when I take it off,
down.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna say I have a sweet Viking shield.
I like it. Now use your
imagination. Yeah.
I think I know where you're going with this, but you tell me, because that's your first thing. So the other thing you can have is you can either have a light crossbow, or you can have 2 hand axes for the throw-in.
Oh man, those hand axes sound pretty nice.
Yeah, those sweet hand axes.
All right, so those will go under our weapon? Hand axe?
Yes, you can just put hand axe under the weapons, and it's the same thing. Actually, I think hand axe, let's see. Where do those weapons go? Hand axe is light and it's thrown. So you can use it like a weapon, but if you were to throw it, that would be your dex modifier. So you think you're going to use this mostly as ranged weapons?
Probably, because otherwise, why wouldn't I just battle axe them?
Yeah, so I think go ahead and put them in there, but give it so your
attack
so
it'd just be a 3.
A 3 to hit, and it would do 1d6 plus 1 damage.
And this is the kind of thing where, like, I could throw these a couple times, twice really in battle, and then after the battle, I just pick them back up. Or I guess I could pick them up in battle, but it would take some of my.
Yeah, I mean, I think picking up an axe in battle I would probably give you because you can swap weapons in battle as a free action.
Yeah, but you know, if you threw it 10 feet, you'd have to get over there.
Well, you'd have to get there.
Yeah,
but if you got there, I'd let you pick it
up.
Okay,
got it. Cool.
Unless there
I
might be other circumstances. So go ahead and put 2 hand axes in your equipment.
I did.
Just so we know
I've done that.
Great. Excellent. So let's go ahead and talk about, let's see. The last thing is you can get a Dungeoneer's pack or an Explorer's pack.
Okay.
And Well, why don't you pick one of them at random right now, and we'll worry about what that means later.
I feel
Because there's a
like
bunch of
he's more
stuff.
of an explorer Pac-Man.
I think the Explorer is the better of the two packs
All right.
myself.
Well,
Dungeoneers pack's a throwback to when the game was all about surviving a dungeon, which
mhm.
it really isn't anymore.
Okay. The game should be renamed Explorers and
Yeah, it
Dragons.
should be. Yeah, it
Maybe.
should be. Yeah, just there's still dragons and there's still dungeons. So all right, so let's go ahead and talk for a moment, please,
All right.
about your fighting style. So there's quite a bit of range here. So I'm going to skip some of them. So you're not an archer.
It's
You
true.
don't not doing two weapon fighting. You're not doing great weapon fighting, although that's fun too. So like where you have one great weapon because
Yeah.
you're doing a shield and you're doing this stuff. So um, I think that you really are. So defense, if you're a defensive fighter, that gives you a +1 bonus to AC. Um, if you are a duelist, when carrying one melee weapon and no other weapons, you get a +2 bonus to your damage rolls with that weapon. And then there's protection. Since you're doing it by yourself, I don't think that makes sense, but basically that allows you to help your allies. Let's see if there's anything else that would make sense here. No. I think those are the ones that make sense. So I think you really are between, do you want more defense or do you want more offense?
I would say this. If I was playing in a party, I would probably opt for defense.
Okay.
But I'm not. So let me ask you this. Are we actually going to play next
I
week?
think
Are we going to do
we're gonna play
something?
next week, but the stuff we're talking about right here matters the least
Okay.
for the scenario I put together. Because what I put together,
Excuse
just
me.
so the people.
One moment, please. Oh, he stopped. Okay. I'll go offense. Let's do offense.
All right, excellent.
Ben.
So under on the right hand column over there.
Yeah.
So that big box. Yeah. Put fighting style.
And sorry, what personality traits?
No. You had the.
Oh,
I thought you
here.
had the cursor flashing there. Yeah.
Features. Yeah.
Fighting style. Exactly. And then put duelist. And then so basically just say +2 to damage rolls when wielding one weapon, which is going to be most of the time.
Wielding. I think I've spelt it wrong.
You know what? You're good. You can put using too. Wielding is just fancy.
I'm gonna leave the mistake. I'm gonna own it.
Yeah, you know what? You should do that. I appreciate that about you. That the way you own mistakes. So there's one other thing that you get, which goes in that same section here. But you get a second wind because you're a fighter. You're all sorts of tough and strong. So you have a limited well of stamina that you can draw on to protect yourself from harm. So right underneath where you wrote the duelist thing, write second wind.
Done.
And you get to, as a bonus action, and that's important, as a bonus action, you can regain up to 1d10 plus your fighter level of hit points.
Plus level? What's a
Plus your fighter level is 1 at this
Yeah,
stage.
but there's no other. That's level's level, right?
Level is level, yes.
Okay. 1d10 plus level.
Plus level. Plus fighter level. Technically, if you decided to multi-class down the road...
Okay. I'll put fighter level.
Now, you can only use this once per rest, long or short.
Should I write that down?
Yes. I actually like to, for these, I like to put in a little box, little line, or, right here where I check it off if I've used it.
Oh, okay. Well.
But you know what? You don't have to do that. We don't have to get that serious.
Well, you know what I could do? I'll do brackets, and you could put an X in there.
Now, there is one other thing
I will put it up here.
to talk about here. Because I think we've just finished up taking care of your fighter. Your fighter stuff is done.
My keyboard's giving me trouble. All right, good. Well, I haven't named him.
You don't? Okay, but we're just talking stats. We'll come back to that in a second.
Right,
you can give him a
Jesus.
name anytime you want.
I'm sorry. I apologize. Alignment, feats. I got 2 of them.
You got two that you got some. You can make some money with them feats.
Not me, man. Someone can,
you really
though.
can't. Yeah. So
I would if I could. Trust me.
easy money.
Yeah.
So feats are things that your character can do. So you get one of them because you're a human. And I think the fact, it's one of the reasons I held off on talking about this, even though it comes with your being a human. So it's an early thing we did here. The no, you don't necessarily know what you want out of your feat until it comes up later. So feats really allow you to do a lot of things. So you could be, for example, an athlete, and then you get +1 to strength or dexterity. You can basically do a bunch of things. You could be a half elf person, which doesn't really make sense for your thing, and then you get some abilities that only elves had.
Okay.
You can.
It doesn't. So far, these don't really sound like feats. To me, a feat would be like you can do this particular thing.
Yeah, and a lot of them are that. So, so for example, one thing you might want is you could be a martial adept, which allows you to learn 2 maneuvers from the battle master archetype. Now, one of the things that you can do is in a couple levels you get to choose your archetype for your fighter, and battle master is one of those. And it's honestly the one that most people choose because it allows you to have these skills that allow you to, these maneuvers is what they're called, like riposte and other things that allow you to do lots of stuff.
You've sold.
Go martial adept here.
Okay. Is that in where is that in my features and traits?
Put that in the same section on the features and traits on the right side there. Yeah. And I want you to mark this. If you write your saving throw, so just right next to it, martial adept, saving throw is 8 plus your proficiency bonus plus your strength. So that is 13. Your saving throw is 13.
Okay.
Now that is if anything you do requires an opponent to make a saving throw at any point, that's their saving throw.
Okay.
You get 1 superiority die. So write that under this.
Is this part of the martial adept?
It's part of the same thing. And it's a D6. So you get 1 D6 to fuel your maneuvers.
Okay.
And you, again, same thing, you get to use it once per rest.
Just this dice?
Just this die. So basically you can use a maneuver at level 1 once per rest.
Okay.
So you want to use them carefully.
Why? Now, okay. Well,
what's happening?
Or
is it
for some reason?
Children?
No. When I hit spacebar, it's taking me. Sometimes it's taking me to the gibbon, which people like to see.
You know what? I think the gibbon just wants to be seen, man.
Yeah.
I mean, why are you going to? So, all right. So let's talk about the 2, because you get 2 of these things. So I keep mentioning riposte.
Yep.
And so what that is when a creature misses you with a melee attack, you can use a reaction.
Yeah.
In every round of combat through everybody, you get 1 reaction.
Mm-hmm.
And that would allow and expend your superiority die to make a melee attack against that weapon.
Yeah. I want that.
Creature.
I want
so
that.
it's
for
just
sure.
a good one.
And I should put that under martial adept, or where should I put that?
Yes, it's in the same section. So your first one was riposte.
Uh-huh.
So, and
Got
you
it.
can write if missed can attack. Or if
I mean,
missed
I know what it
reaction to
means,
attack.
but
and if you hit, you can add whatever you roll on that D6. You can add to your attack, to your damage roll. So you can hit pretty dang hard.
okay.
This is honestly, it's almost like an auto kill at the early level.
Yeah. So this is part of my this is my superiority D6.
And again, yeah.
Okay.
So you got to if you go up in levels and you decide to go battle master, you'll get more of these superiority dice. So you can do more of these things, but right now it's just the one thing.
Okay.
You don't have any friends, so at this point,
Son of a bitch.
It's very sad. So you can do things like you're not stealthy because you're in the clanking armor. You can increase the reach of your attack. You can reduce the damage of an attack. But it's parry would do that. So if it hits you with a melee attack,
I mean, I kind of got to go parry.
Okay, so that's basically it. When hit, you can use your reaction to expend to roll that superiority die plus dex. So it would be superiority plus 1 to reduce that damage.
Okay, so we hit him with a Katie
Yes.
or a Matthew. Uh,
Got to parry it.
okay. Should I write something near this? I've only written parry dash.
Yeah, parry. So when hit,
Reduce damage.
reaction to reduce by superiority die plus.
What
dex.
Shoot. What I'm upset about is that I would like to parry and then repost, and then I pretend I'm playing Dark Souls.
Yeah, but see, the thing is, you can't, because technically parry is when you get hit, and riposte is when you don't.
No, I might be out. I might be out on this Dungeons and Dragons thing.
You just want everything to be like Dark Souls.
Yeah, yeah.
You know what? When you move things along, and you get more stuff, maybe you will be able to do that. So
Hey, did you order that new computer, by the way?
I did not.
Oh,
I did not
no.
order that on a computer. I know. I'm a horrible
I looked up
person.
computers for you. How much you want to spend? 3,000-4,000?
No. No, I don't.
All right.
So before we get there to a new computer, we're going to finish putting this guy together, which is almost done, believe it or not.
Nice.
So,
Okay.
yes, now he needs a name. Or she. You can go whatever you want here. We don't judge.
Right. I'm going to go with Rasmus
Rasmus, because he's from Norway.
Smith.
Rasmus Smith. Okay. Powerful name.
Uh-huh.
Tell us more about Rasmus Smith, the salesperson.
I kind of think he's down on his luck. He's not had a good life. He tries to take things very seriously, but he keeps getting, shat upon. He's working hard at this new career, but it's just not going his way. I don't know why yet.
The new career was sales, just not adventuring.
The new career was door-to-door kombucha sales, which is a tough.
You knock on the wrong door, you fall through a portal.
It's a tough business. Yeah, I'm not sure how the portal played in. Maybe he doesn't know either.
Was he making his own kombucha, and that he was trying to sell that?
That sounds right to me.
Okay, yeah. And he's trying to sell it door to door.
He also doesn't know.
Which is, as everyone knows, the best way to sell.
He also doesn't know how to make kombucha. So
he does. He's brewing. He knows how to brew.
No, he knows how to brew. He's just not very good at making kombucha.
Oh, okay. All right. Well, he's a junior brewer.
Yeah. So he gives out free samples, and that instantly kills the sale.
Yeah. But so let's talk about when people meet him.
Yeah.
What's he like?
So
is he friendly? Is he a douche?
Oh, he's definitely very friendly. He's friendly to a fault. Okay. People take advantage of him because he's just too nice.
I would say write that in your personality traits.
Okay.
Actually, and that might be in your flaws. So he's very friendly, and then flaw might be friendly to a fault, can get taken advantage of. And then, let me know when you got that written down.
I've got it.
Because we need to talk about his what matters to him, what's important to him.
He really wants to make it, right? He's tried a lot of different businesses. He wants some success. It's eating at him. He just hasn't hit it. And actually, he's sort of fallen into this warrior role quite well. Like he's feeling like he's finally finding his stride. Like, oh, okay, I was meant to chop some goblins.
Goblin chopping is a good strategy for life. Go ahead and put under ideals, like wants to succeed. I think that's probably a good thing. Like really wants to have something be good. And I think under personality traits, does he have a little bit of a inferiority complex?
Absolutely. Yeah. Inferior complex. And even I would say even as he's, getting this, he's finding his stride. He's got an imposter syndrome. He doesn't think he belongs still. So.
Gotcha. So yeah, go ahead and put that in under
personality traits.
Put that a little under personality traits. Yeah. He's a little concerned. He's insecure. He's. He doesn't want to be, letting everybody down, or he's afraid of being humiliated. So you say that's fair?
Yeah. He wants to. Yeah, he's always putting on a bit of a face. You know, he's trying to act like he's in control when he doesn't feel that way.
So the last one they have here is might not make as much sense for this character, but bonds typically is what holds people to the people around them. Like when like your group, what's holding it together. Do you think does that ring any bells for you? Does that give you anything you might want to work off of?
No, nothing jumping out at me. I mean,
we don't have to fill in every one of these.
Okay.
So one thing I will say is his speed is 30 feet, so we got to fill that in because everybody's speed is 30 feet unless you're a halfling, and then your speed is 25.
Oh, poor bastards.
I know they're struggling. To keep
I do
up.
picture him being very, very tall and thin.
Okay, well let's go ahead. Next page down. Honestly, you can put in his age, height, weight, skin color, eye color.
He's 34.
Okay,
he is
good age.
6'4".
Okay, perfect.
But he's thin, so he only weighs 100 and how much would 80 pounds?
Sure. Yeah, that seems about right.
He's got eyes.
He does, yeah. Yeah, eyes, yes.
Many.
He sounds creepier than initially sold. Actually.
Yeah. I don't know. He's got blue eyes.
Yeah, he's a Scandinavian dude, so
he's white, and he has dark hair.
Dark hair. Wow, he's going little off off brand.
Dirty.
Like fair.
Dirty blonde.
And he's a beautiful gibbon.
Yes, here he is. It matches up perfectly.
Yeah, we'll work on that picture for the next one.
I couldn't remove it.
Yeah, I just tried it on mine, and it is easily removed. So I'm not sure what it is.
That might be Chrome's editor that I'm using.
Yeah, could be.
I'll mess with it.
I'm using Adobe, so.
Hopefully.
All right, so that is our character setup. And so when we come next time, you'll use almost none of this for the scenario that I've created.
Fantastic.
But those personality characteristics will be important.
Yeah.
So what we're going to do is, so next time we do this, you'll want to separate all of those cards out.
Okay.
So that you have them into their own decks. And one of the decks you'll shuffle. You'll remove the 1 and the 20. This is what we'll do next time. Is you'll remove the 1 and the 20. You'll shuffle the remainder, and you'll put 5 of them face down between the 1 and the 20. And then the scenario you'll be doing is you're a very early adventurer. You're in a tavern. This is where all good adventures start. Is in a tavern.
It really is. It's a bit of.
It's how you do it. That's why we chose to create this scenario this way. And I was planning when we first said this, like, let's create something simple for people to come on, like they can look at the site and let's have them use these cards in this interesting way. Just a simple, you start in a tavern, you're walking through the tavern and you encounter 5 things on your way to the door. Your objective is to get out the door.
Okay. That's fun.
And I was thinking it would be super easy. I haven't finished it, and it is 50 pages long at this stage.
Very nice.
Because there's always something else that might happen when you encounter somebody. Because you're supposed to do this on your own, so we have to account for, like, what if you try this? What if you try that?
Yeah. That's cool. Is it sort of like, it's 50 pages long because in your adventure, you probably might only see 1 or 2 pages, but you've accounted for what you could. It's like a choose your own adventure.
Yeah, there are 18 things you could encounter. It's like a choose your own adventure, but you're only going to encounter 5.
I'm into it. I'm excited.
I'm excited to do it.
We're now vacuuming, so
that's how we. That's our play us out keyboard cat.
That's right.
The vacuum. Yeah. But yeah, no, I'm very excited. I think you've got a solid character here in Rasmus Smith, and I'm looking forward to taking you through this one. I'll have to complete 50 pages. It ain't done.
Hurry the heck up! You got 1 week.
I can. It'll be done.
And happy Easter, by the way.
Oh yes.
Did your kids get bags? Did your kids get baskets?
We gave them some luggage and told them to get out.
Good. It's about
happy
time.
Easter, kids.
We're having your parents over for dinner.
Excellent.
Yeah.
Excellent. That sounds like fun. We have no. Easter doesn't hit hard around here, so we haven't done anything. They do have.
No, it doesn't hit hard here either.
Lumps of bunny-shaped chocolate.
Yeah, I mean, you get your basket, you get your chocolate. For viewers that don't know, his parents happen to be my parents.
Yeah. Oh, right. Yeah.
Joke explains.
Yeah, and it was a solid joke. I'm sorry for not laughing. It was solid.
Well, you had to process the jealousy.
I did. I felt that moment of I live 500 miles away, and no parents are coming to my house
I was
today.
saying you could go to Alex's, and they're like, "Nah, I don't
No,
want." Yeah,
no, the coming here is too. It's too big an event. It's too grand
they
and
actually
exciting.
they visit you a lot.
They do. They do come up a lot, and
It's good.
it's nice. But we both have the grandchildren draw. So
Yeah,
that's the.
that's the only reason they're coming, I think.
I was talking to a friend of mine who was like, his mom moved away because you know what? He has no grandchildren. And his sister does have grandchildren.
Right. Well, yeah, yeah.
That's how
I would probably do the same. You
Move away
shun
from-
one child. I'm just gonna move away from both the children, and then I'll
Right.
be happy.
And that's how you test them.
My son has
their
heard
love.
that, and he said, "What? I gotta
You
go.
test their love by
Yeah.
saying, like which of you will come move.
Who's
here?
gonna visit me?"
Yeah, and that's going to be a disappointing.
We should end this stream.
We should. I know
We're just rambling, yeah.
Yeah. No, we had a really good ending there, and now we're just I don't know what
The vacuuming was really when.
Yeah, that's why they came, because it's telling us you guys are going too long.
Yep. All right.
Get out of here. I'll talk to you next week.
I think it's okay. I'll put it on YouTube. You can watch the whole thing. It's only an hour and 5 minutes.
That's pretty good for character creation.
Okay. Enjoy the video, everyone. You're welcome. Bye.
Bye.